All right, so are you ready to really dive deep into this?
Always.
Okay, good. Because today we're taking a look at this. It's called Eingefickter Text. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, I've come across it. It's a pretty unique piece of writing.
It really is.
Mm.
And to try and describe it, it's like imagine someone's online diary, but written in this almost poetic style.
Yeah, like spoken word, but on a blog.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, it's not really about hard facts. It's more about how one person experienced, how the internet evolved.
Yeah, it's personal.
Right. Like their journey.
Yeah.
But it also gets into their thoughts about privacy online, the potential of technology, even cryptocurrency.
Kind of covers it all. A real snapshot of how we thought about the internet back then. Takes you back.
It totally does. It really takes you back to the early days. Remember internet cafes?
Oh, yeah.
With those big clunky computers and that Windows 98 sound?
Yeah.
It's like you can almost hear it in the background when you're reading this.
The dial-up tone, the whirring of the hard drive, the whole experience.
Ugh. Don't remind me of dial-up. I mostly remember the frustration of waiting for, forever for a picture to load.
But there was a sense of excitement too, right? Like a new frontier. You never knew what you were going to find.
Yeah, that comes across really strongly in Eingefickter Text. The author talks about finding friends online, forming these whole communities around, I don't know, music or movies, things they were passionate about.
And the shared experience. Remember, this was before social media as we know it.
Right. They even mentioned being inspired by that film, Hackers. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah. How could I forget? That movie, it wasn't just about the tech, though, was it? There was this whole romanticized idea of using your skills to explore, to connect with others, even challenge the system.
Yeah, and speaking of challenging the system, the author's internet journey goes to some pretty interesting places. I mean, they start with Usenet, remember that?
Vaguely. Refresh my memory.
Okay, so it was like these early online forums where people would just debate everything. Politics, music, whatever.
Right.
Really anything you can think of.
Sounds a bit like the Wild West of the internet.
Yeah, pretty much. And from there, they end up on the darknet, that hidden part of the internet that's, well, kind of famous for its anonymity.
A place for the more, shall we say, adventurous internet users.
Exactly. And that's where they start talking about OpSec,
Yeah.
operational security, taking steps to protect your identity online.
Which is fascinating because it's like they saw what was coming, this huge focus on online privacy that we're all dealing with now.
Right. Back then, it was this niche thing, but they were already thinking about it. And I think, in a way, it kind of mirrors how the internet itself changed. It started as this open, almost idealistic space, and then, well, it got a lot more complicated.
Layers upon layers, yeah.
Yeah.
With all these hidden parts and this constant back and forth about how much privacy we should have, it's true.
But what's really interesting is that throughout this whole journey, the author never loses sight of the good that can come from the internet. They talk about technology as a tool for, spreading good things like creativity, helping people connect, even fighting for justice.
It's a real sense of optimism.
Yeah, they see the potential. And I wonder if that's what leads them to being so interested in cryptocurrency later on.
That's a good point. They see cryptocurrency as more than just digital money. It's about giving power back to the people.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Like blockchain, the technology behind it, it's like this public record that everyone can see and check. It cuts out the middleman.
So you mean no more banks or big companies calling all the shots?
Exactly. It's about individuals having control. Control over their data, their money, how they live their lives online.
Wow, okay. That makes a lot of sense. But then the author goes even further, right? They start talking about cryosleep, aliens. Where does all that fit in? It's like suddenly we've gone from internet cafes to science fiction.
Well, it does get pretty out there. But I think what it shows is their belief in technology to really, transform the future, even in ways that we can't really imagine right now. It's not just about the here and now, it's about the long game.
So they see this future where technology can help us do things that seem impossible now.
Absolutely. Push beyond our limits.
It's a pretty radical idea, I have to admit.
It is.
But in the end, Eingefickter Text leaves us with this really big question. What's your role in all of this, in shaping the future of the internet?
I think it's a question we all need to ask ourselves.
Yeah. Are we just going to be passive, or are we going to try and, make it a force for good?
I think the author's story really reminds us that the internet, it's not this fixed thing. It keeps changing, it evolves, and it's on us to decide what we want it to become.
So are you up for the challenge?
Challenge accepted. What about you?
I'm in.
Great, let's do it.
All right. And on that note, I think we're done diving for today.
Until next time.
See you then.